Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi everybody. We are now in the Bayt al-Futuh Mosque, Britain's largest mosque yet again. And as yesterday, we did mention that today we would come and ask Muslims here who are attending the Friday sermon today what they think about Hazrat's message. Now the Friday sermon has just ended, people are about to come out, and we know that in this Friday sermon today, His Holiness Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, may Allah be his helper, also mentioned the Russia and Ukraine crisis. So I'm really interested to know what the Muslims behind us think about it, and how they think we can actually get that message across to people where it needs to go. But before we quickly go and ask them, the Friday sermon's just actually concluded. Let's quickly go and take a look at that right now.
मौजूदा जो दुनिया के हालात हैं इस बारे में भी दुआ के लिए कहना चाहता हूँ। इंतहाई ख़तरनाक हो चुके हैं और हो सकते हैं बढ़ते जा रहे हैं। ये सिर्फ एक मुल्क नहीं बल्कि बहुत से ममालिक इसमें शामिल हो जाएंगे अगर ये इसी तरह बढ़ता रहा, और फिर इसका असर नस्लों तक रहेगा इसकी खौफनाक अंजाम का। खुदा करे कि लोग खुदा ताला को पहचानने वाले हों और अपनी दुनियावी ख्वाहिशात की तस्कीन के लिए इंसानों की जानों से न खेलें।
In the distance now, as you can see, people are slowly coming out. Let's catch up with a few of them and see what they think about this issue in light of what Hazrat said. Let's go.
All right. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that the war is definitely going to happen, or could it still be averted?
I think we should pray to avoid it. The war isn't. It'd be a destruction on a mass scale. Our job right now is just to pray for it and avoid it.
Wherever you look in the media today, you kind of hear about this whole situation.
Yeah.
And it kind of feels very grim.
Yeah. So basically, the whole world is thinking or has built this or developed this idea in their minds that there is no solution. There is no hope. But Hazur, on the other hand, for many, many years has told us that through prayer, we can actually change the situation. And Hazur's done that very differently. Hazur's told us that there is hope. Hazur's told us that things can get better.
Okay, we've got Tokir here who listened to the Friday sermon today. What do you think about this whole Ukraine-Russia crisis in light of what His Holiness, the global Caliph of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community, has said?
He has mentioned that instead of superpowers worrying about their own personal interests, they should focus towards attaining world peace.
His message in his statement a few days ago is very clear as well, that world leaders should really be acting wise at this moment.
Yeah.
We're living in a time now where there's nuclear warfare. It can get can go on a very big scale.
Hazrat said one thing is that people should come back to the worship of one God. When you believe in the worship of one God, when you have the belief that there is an overall sovereignty and omnipotent being that is above everything, you know your place in the world. The thing is that so many powers in the world think that they're God, or they come to realize that they themselves are God.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
And when people themselves realize that they're nothing, that's when humanity can come back to one.
As a Muslim, you've now listened to the sermon, you know something that His Holiness has said. What can we do with that information now?
The message of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih, we should try our level best to bring or showcase that message to all the people around the world. May that be through social media, may that be through any sort of means, radio, TV. But that message of His Holiness is very strong, and everyone in the world needs to hear it.
Alhamdulillah, guys, so we've spoken to a number of Muslim brothers today about this issue, and main things that are coming forward are, number one, as Muslims, one of the most important things that we can do for this issue, for any other global conflicts, is prayer, and that we need to put our personal interests to the side and put in place security and measures to ensure international peace. That's really good, and I think all of these things are really great. And one brother, actually a couple of guys, actually said that it would be really good if we can put these messages out on social media, go and tell the public about it, whether we can tell our close friends as well. And I think that's really important. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go and take these messages of His Holiness, whether they're from various addresses or the ones from today, and we're going to show the public, ask them what they think about it, and whether they think that this can actually be a real solution. We're going to be releasing this, inshallah, tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. We'll be back then. Until then, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and peace be upon you all.